Hello, I'm Ryan Slaughter, Research Assistant for the Small Fruit Specialty Crops team here at OSU South Centers in Piketon, Ohio. Today we'll be visiting a series of crops to give you an update on those, the research that we're doing, and the status of those crops. The first fruit crop that we're looking at today is the hardy fig planting here. This crop was established as part of the Specialty Crop Block Grant awarded by the Ohio Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. There are two cultivars here inside this tunnel and also behind us in an open field production. These were planted in the early summer of 2018, so this is their third growing season. As you can see, they've established quite nicely inside the tunnel here. The first signs of ripening can be seen on some of the fruit. Fruits will go from a bright green color to a purple or brown on these two varieties. Once they've done this, they start to droop a little bit on the stems, and that's how we know that they're ready to harvest. Harvest will begin soon. Just for reference, today is August 25th. We established 3 cultivars in this study, but one did not survive the first winter here in southern Ohio. The two that you see here are Hardy Chicago and Brown Turkey. High tunnels like this one are a good way, an excellent way to protect the root mass of these plants during the winter, which the root mass are what sends up the vigorous growing new shoots that you see here every year, and these new shoots is what bear the figs. Shoots then die back during the winter months and can be cut and removed from the area. We have found that in the outside production with little to no protection, roots of these 2 cultivars can survive fine, but do not have the vigorous early and ongoing growth that you see inside the tunnel. For more information on this crop, please visit southcenters.osu.edu, where you can find our new fact sheet, Growing Hardy Figs in Ohio. I'm standing in our Research and Extension wine grape vineyard. This planting was established as part of the Viticulture Research and Extension Grant awarded by the Ohio Grape Industries Committee, part of the Ohio Department of Agriculture. We have over 10 different red and white wine grape cultivars in this vineyard and 2 more cultivars in another smaller vineyard. We have some French American cultivars including Noiret and Chambourcin, 2 excellent red wine grapes for our area, and Vidal, a white variety that many in our state use to make a delicious, super sweet ice wine with. That's the cluster I'm holding here. We have Cabernet Franc, a vinifera type, and some Minnesota and New York varieties, including but not limited to Frontenac and Aramella, respectively. So far, we've seen that all these varieties are doing pretty well for southern Ohio. This vineyard is used as a tool to not only help growers in the annual management practices that come along with growing wine grapes, but also to do research on what cultivars grow best here in southern Ohio. We have 2 other research vineyards in Ohio that's part of Ohio State, one in Kingsville, and that's up on the lake, and the other one is in Worcester. And we also use this vineyard to measure the quality of the grapes as they become wine. For more information, please visit southcenters.osu.edu. Thanks. Hello, the next crop in this series that we'll look at is the hardy kiwi. This crop was established as part of the Specialty Crop Block Grant awarded by the Ohio Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Many of you, upon hearing kiwi, immediately picture the large fuzzy fruit that can be purchased at almost any grocery store. That particular kiwi, Actinidia deliciosa, is native to South China, and production in the United States is mostly concentrated in California, as it is not hardy enough for many other parts of the United States. The kiwi that we are working with here is Actinidia arguta, commonly known as hardy kiwi or kiwi berry in a growing number of circles. It produces a much smaller sized fruit, about the size of a table grape, and does not have any of the fuzz on the skin. Has a similar acidity compared to the larger kiwi, but can be much sweeter. It can take 5, 6, or more years for the plants to reach the stage in which they will produce fruit, and they also require a male pollinator to be planted intermittently with the female, the fruit-bearing plants. Generally, one male is recommended for every 6 to 8 female plants. These plants are spaced 10 feet apart, but once established, they can be very vigorous growers. So our recommendation to new growers or a new planting is 15 to 18 feet apart between plants and 15 feet apart between rows. Dave Jackson, a friend of ours and a seasoned kiwi berry grower in Danville, Pennsylvania, has plants mostly spaced 30 feet apart and has some that are even 45 feet apart. A substantial trellis, like you see here, must be constructed because the weight of the vine, once it's fully grown, and the eventual fruit that will be on it is very, very heavy. For more information, please visit southcenters.osu.edu and check out our new kiwi fruit and hardy kiwi fact sheet. The crop that we're visiting now is Thornless Blackberries. This particular planting was established as part of the Specialty Crop Block Grant awarded by the Ohio Department of Agriculture and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. This trellis system may appear odd to some of you, but it is a well-established and growing way of trellising blackberries, especially for climates like ours, where extreme winter temperatures can damage the sensitive cambium layer of the blackberry canes. This trellis system is known as rotatable cross-arm trellis, or RCA for short. It was established, and this particular one was established as a training tool to show new and even experienced growers how to use and manage this system. The idea behind this system is to train 3 main shoots horizontally along the bottom wire. Once the cane has reached the next plant, the growing tip is cut or broken off, which forces lateral branches to begin to grow. Those branches, which will be the bearer of the main crop of fruit, are then trained vertically up these catch wires. In the winter time, this whole system can then be laid down flat on the ground and cover up with a floating row cover. In most cases, that is enough to protect the canes from the cold winter injury. In the spring, the arms are brought back up into a horizontal position until the flowers develop, and they'll all be upright towards the sun. Once that is done, then these arms are brought back in the position that they are in right now, and then all the fruit will then be on one side of the canopy. All the fruit being on one side of the canopy is great for harvesting, but with your trellis positioned correctly, shades the fruit from the hot evening westerly sun, which prevents sun scald on the fruit. Some growers position their trellises east to west so that once the arms are moved into this position, all the fruit is on the north side of the canopy and gets very little to no direct sunlight. This planting has 4 cultivars: a Ouachita, Osage, Triple Crown, and Natchez. These are all cultivars that we would recommend both for Ohio and for this system of trellising. For more information, please visit southcenters.osu.edu. Currently, we have a fact sheet on pruning erect blackberries, and we're working on a fact sheet that includes this RCA system. This next crop we're visiting is raspberries. This planting, along with our cultivar trial in another area, was established as part of the Specialty Crop Block Grant awarded by the Ohio Department of Agriculture, U.S. Department of Agriculture. As mentioned, in another area of our research and extension facility, we have a cultivar study that includes over 10 red, purple, and yellow raspberries. Some of those varieties are Royalty, purple, and a yellow, Tula Magic, and AAC, Eden, both red. We also have some black raspberry varieties planted in another location. That includes Jewel, Niwot, and Ohio's Treasure. This particular planting here includes the cultivar Cascade Harvest, a red raspberry. As you can see, we have these planted on raised beds, constructed of treated 4x6 posts and nailed together using 12-inch landscape spikes, and braced on the inside of the beds using steel posts so that the soil doesn't cause the beds to bow out. We filled the beds with native topsoil amended with compost that we also purchased locally. Once these plants are well established, we will add a simple T-trellis with catch wires to help support the growing canes. The idea here was to show growers another option for growing raspberries or any other fruit crops An ideal setting for a system like this might be if a grower doesn't have good enough soil or location to do normal field production, or even in an urban setting on a pavement in an unused parking lot. Another benefit to a system like this is that it raises the whole plant up, raising the fruit up to a higher level, and it makes harvest much accessible. For more information, please visit southcenters.osu.edu. Thank you.